Good morning, pregame crew. How are ya? It's Monday, May 15th, 2023, 6:22 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:22 a.m. Eastern. I hope you are well. I hope you're having a great morning. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. All you mothers or all of you hanging out with your mother or calling, I hope you had a wonderful weekend relaxing. I hope you're coming into this Monday refreshed. And if you're not, check that. If you're not refreshed and ready for the day, you don't have to trade. 99% of you are retail traders. You don't have to trade. You get to choose. Thank you, Night Truck. I appreciate that. I'm going to say hello to my friends, do a few chart requests, and then we'll officially get started in 8 minutes with indices, commodities, crypto movers, and shakers of the day. Good morning, Shake and Bake. Hey, Keith, Renaissance Man. Hey, Bob, Greg, Bennett, Topher, Card Lady, Chris, Homebody, All Nick Mal, B-Hawk. Yep, Homebody. Yada. Yoda. Hey, Jess. Good morning. I got Kevin's in our TCG room asking about Baidu. So they get preferential treatment, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Just like every mother says they don't have a favorite kid. They do. They absolutely do. They lie. It's the one that causes them the least headaches. Okay, so for Baidu, we have a huge move up in Hang Seng, 1.75%. That's nothing to shake a stick at, as my grandma would say. That is a pretty big move up on Hang Seng. Baidu is benefiting. It's gapping up even more over Friday's high. However, it has got a ways to go before Thursday's high. So what I would like to buy as a long, if I were looking for a long, is, let me change that color, is I would look for this higher low buy in this area. That's what I would look for. And what you're playing off is this, let me get rid of that. You're breaking the inside bar from Friday bullish, but it's going to be difficult to get over Thursday's high in one fell swoop. So you're looking for a pullback buy, playing off this support level. You filled this gap from back here at 116.50. You have multiple gaps below. Baidu has plenty of room to the downside. However, it is building a range of support here in the 117 area. Okay, let's go back up to the top. Yeah, Goog got a downgrade. What I'm waiting on Goog and Google is I'm waiting for first hourly oversold after this large move up. You see a little orange triangle there? That is how I will play Google to the long side, is I'm waiting for that. And a lot of you ask, how do you pick which name to play? If I see 6 setups that I like, which on my notes this morning, I have 4 written down, but there's really 7 setups that I like. What I do is I set alerts for them. Come on, alerts. Don't do this. Load layout, pregame. I downloaded the desktop version of TradingView, and I think I'm going to make the switch to that. So date created, newest first. So if you look here, I've made all of these alerts this morning. Let's see, where's the first one I made this morning? Here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 alerts I created this morning. That's what helps me. Whatever my first alert that I get of the setups that I'm watching, those are the setups I'm going to go look at and see if I still have the same conviction with current market conditions. Does it match up with internals? And then I take it. When you're surfing, how do you pick which wave to take? It's usually the first one that comes to you that's of decent size. Well, that's how I trade. I wait for the best setup. When the alerts go off and I still think it's a primo setup, that's the wave that I ride. All right. If you want to know what indicators I use, you can click on the link below in the PDF explanation. You can click on the link below in the video description to get a PDF explanation as to what all of my indicators are. Quickly, the yellow candle is inside bar, red line is at 21 EMA, Green is the 8 EMA, purple is the 200 MA, and yellow is the 50 simple moving average. So 50 and 200 simple, 8 and 21 exponential, RSI, and Squeeze Pro. All right. More expensive small setback for a big setup, it's $274. Are you saying that relative to price? Because that doesn't mean it's the most expensive. Because you've got to know the shares outstanding to know, is it really more expensive than Apple? PE ratio wise, are you talking about fundamentals? Or even technically, if you look at the shares outstanding, Apple may have more, because remember, they did a split. So Apple's still probably more expensive than HSY, of course. So it's a complicated comment to say something is more expensive than another. But is this outperforming Apple? Absolutely. Potential weekly bull flag underway. Beautiful chart. These defensive names have been doing very well. Looks like we have a divvy coming up this week. Always confirm for yourself at 1036. Divvy date is May 18th. And I appreciate the Happy Mother's Day wishes. ADA. Daily 8 EMA is overhead on ADA. We held the 200 MA. We're really struggling at this 8 EMA and 50 RSI. It just shows the overall weakness. Real apathetic volume here. Nobody's really caring very much about this chart as is. 4 hour, it's getting higher highs, but they sure looks like a rising wedge. We're getting tiny higher highs without a lot of follow through. And this is not what you want to see. This is a bear setup against 3752, looking for that top fish in that area. Oh, you mean PE? Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, Apple's an amazing company. Madison Enterprises, I bet a lot of my children are feeling very betrayed right now. I have 2 kids and 3 stepkids. We all got our favorites. I love them all. Okay, Kevin, I went over Baidu. Core retail sales tomorrow. Hey, Mary. I think so too, Charm Man Dan. I think there is a bearish reversal pattern on NQ. On the 4 hour. It's a classic one. This could go in the textbook on Investopedia of diamond bearish reversal patterns. Now that drawing wouldn't make it anywhere, but that pattern would. So typical diamond pattern, you EQ on this right side, and then typically, I think it's more than 60%, check Bulkowski's pattern site, this breaks to the downside. It has more than 50% chance of breaking to the downside. Doesn't mean it will. There's always a chance. You're going to Gina? Go tell my people hello. My favorite child is my son-in-law. That is a great t-shirt. My mom would probably wear that shirt. I'm kidding. Okay, hey Serrano. QI monthly play. This is a Chinese name. Well, maybe I don't understand what you're asking because there used IQ. That's what I'm thinking about. That used to be the China name. We're pulling back pretty hard here. We just got some data. We just got the New York Empire State Manufacturing Index. It has a moderate volatility rating. Forecast was 3.7, negative 31.80 was actual. You can always click on this if you want to know what is expected, if it's below or above, what the potential impact to the dollar in the U.S. market is. So you can always click on that. So let's get started. We have Bostic, who has been speaking. It says in 13 minutes, but Bostic's already been talking. Kashkari, and we have tick net long-term transactions. You can click on that as well to figure out what that is. I don't know what it is, nor do I care. Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, that'd be lovely. You can check us out at chartguys.com. What we do is we teach technical analysis, and boy, do we have fun doing it. We love trading and we love technical analysis and price action. We present and represent different edges. Some of us use the squeeze indicator. Some people don't. I use 8 and 21. Dan uses 12 and 26. We all have our various edges that we've honed in on and refined, and we share those edges. We share setups. We not only tell you how to swing the golf club, but we actually swing it. So today, what we have on the menu is indices, commodities, crypto movers and shakers of the day. Got a lot of feedback on Friday's show, and I really appreciate all the nice comments. If you want to check out a little educational blip, I did one on Friday at the beginning of the show, and it was a pretty decent one. I must say, I may do a webinar on it. I need to expound on it more. I can always refine it, but thought we had some good tidbits in there. Okay, so on ES, we're in a 4-hour downtrend. A lower high is the more likely scenario. So if we stick with what we talked about Friday and we say, okay, what does it look like? Where's the target? What location are we aiming for? I hate it when I do that. Is it painful to watch me do TradingView? It has to be. So we want to lower that risk a little bit, shift it up. So bears are looking for a top fish here in this area, compared to 41.6450 for that 4-hour lower high. We're losing the 15-minute trend. So now the odds just shifted. I'm going to make this up. I don't normally make stuff up, but just for conversation's sake. It just went from 60 to probably 80% that this lower high is now set. Does that make sense? So odds favor that we would go to a lower high because you gave up too much. You went from a higher low, lower high, lower low. So now on that retrace, odds favor a lower high. And once you get that 15-minute downtrend, it increases the odds by 10, 15, 20% that 4-hour lower high is now most likely set. And when I say 10 and 15, I mean it goes from 50, 55 to 65, 70, 80. So that's where we are now. So now bears are looking at top fish. Now your risk, it shifts. Let me get rid of that and try it on this time frame so I can show you. So now you start going in on lower time frames once you map that out and say, okay, well, we just set most likely the 4-hour lower high. So now I can top fish 415625. So now your risk comes in. You're not just blindly shorting something now. You have a level. And you're not blindly shorting up here either. You have your clear level 416450, but that's a little far away if you're trading futures. 415625, that is doable. That is absolutely doable. So now the question is, did NASDAQ do it? Yep, it did it. 15-minute downtrend, 4-hour lower high most likely set. And we have this bearish reversal pattern of this diamond reversal pattern resistance 1344750, then 1349425, support 1331050. How this consolidation looks will most likely shape our day. Do we break 1331050, or are we able to EQ out of here and pull ourselves out of this spiral? And it's not a death spiral, but it was a pretty big spiral down on Friday. That was a pretty big one, but nice bounce into the end of the day. We had several key factors save it. Most importantly, I'm going to back up and give you larger context now. Friday, we saved this level. 411175, we saved that 411225. But for ease of talking to you, let's say this needs to hold. This is the key level. Now I'm going to back up a little bit, and what I do here every morning is I go over all of these different names, but I also give you a table where I've calculated bullishness and bearishness based on larger trends. And I can tell you I had so many, let me highlight them, that were a push, meaning they were neither bearish nor bullish. It wasn't clear, so I didn't assign it a value. So you see all of these highlighted over here. Price patterns, VIX, semis, energy, and healthcare. None of them gave a clear signal. None of them. So I did not check it. Had I went and checked all of those bearish, then we're looking at a different score. Do you see the difference? And on the 4-hour trend, we're in a downtrend on ES. We're not in a downtrend on NASDAQ, but NASDAQ has that diamond bearish reversal candle. Diamond bearish on the 4-hour. So do you see how just a few clicks of go ahead and clearly defining those answers for those 5 that I left out, how it's closer to parity? So just want you to know, I do this table every day and it just helps me look at all my correlations. Hang Seng was super strong overnight, up 1.75. Last time I looked at DAX, it was green. Is it still green? Yep, it's barely green. And I have some notes that are off screen. I copy and paste those for TCG members. So I want to go ahead and just type out what the most important thing of the week is. We don't have a lot of economic events like we're used to. We don't have big earnings, but we have two big threats to the market that are still hanging over our head. The market has not had a big issue with inflation or some of this data that comes out, we would have already rolled over. We've been pretty range bound. There's not super worried about inflation, obviously. The threat is the debt ceiling. If we default on our debt, those of us that hold bonds, we're not going to get our interest payments. That's big. If the U.S. government fails to pay its bills, that is huge, and that could upset the apple cart. And we could have limit down scenario possibly. We've only come close to defaulting 5 times in the last 200 years. If it were to happen, it could really rock the markets to the downside. Same thing if we have more bank defaults. I'm not saying we're going to have them, but it is a threat. We've had four regional banks fail. Another bank fell. That could also rock the markets because XLK, NQ looks fine on the daily chart. Ain't nothing wrong with this chart. And yes, I said ain't nothing wrong with this chart. We're inside Friday's range. We're in a daily uptrend. When does NASDAQ get a break? When does it get a break? And if it takes a break, who is going to step up or who is going to roll over with it? XLF has to step up and XLV have to step up if QQQ finally gets its much needed rest. So that'll be the question. If this 4-hour diamond bearish reversal pattern breaks bearish, which that is my lean, that it breaks bearish. Well, I shouldn't say that. My lean is a bearish morning, and then how we shape up in the afternoon is an unknown. Do we hold 13310 and bounce, or do we just cut right through it like a hot knife through butter? So I'm more bearish this morning, and then the afternoon I would say I'm neutral. RTY cannot not get over the daily EMAs. We are inside last week's range. I should also mention that we have daily inside bars on all 4 major indices. We're inside Friday's range. On today's opens, we're still inside Friday's range. So that could lead to a lot of misdirection on shorter term time frames with these inside bars on higher time frames. And if you look at RTY, we're on our second weekly inside bar on RTY. And on YM, we're on our second weekly inside bar. Things are getting tight, and that tight range bound is creating another issue. Not an issue. I guess it's just an issue if you're not aware of it. It's not what I wanted. ATR. So the average true range for ES was averaging 200 points in a week from May of last year to December of last year. And since the beginning of the year, we have dropped off considerably. We're in this tight range now. So the movement is not as big as it used to be. And you have to factor that in if you're an options trader and you're trying to estimate with iron condors or with spreads. You have to know what the average true range is. And we are in historic low levels on average true range. So this tightening on RTY, on YM, on the weekly inside bars, we will break out of this, and we will probably break out of this with flair, just like the market likes to do. So Just don't get complacent with these smaller ranges, thinking the market's not going to rip your face off in either direction. Okay, did that. YM, resistance 33506, 33544, support 33321. Dollar has been a story. Here's the other biggest story that I should have led with. This is a potential 4-hour bull flag. This is a bullish chart. The dollar is changing character. It is getting over the daily 50 MA. We have a daily trend change. And as Dan has been harping on, I love his harping, I'm not complaining, is we are looking for that quarterly higher low on the dollar. And did the dollar just do it with this quarterly double bottom? And will that mark a temporary top in the market? And it very well could. So it's hard to get super bullish on the market with the dollar looking this good. Yes, it's in an hourly downtrend, but we know we have downtrends and we have potential bull flags on higher time frames that if we get tiny bear breaks, that can mean we have the bull flag on higher time frame. All right. Bonds are looking pretty bearish as well. And what will happen to bonds if the U.S. government defaults? That's a nice little reversal candle forming, but this is still a bearish chart. Okay, VIX. VIX is getting a little pick-me-up. We just changed the trend on the hourly chart. 1792 is your next resistance. It's getting a little pep in its step. We're slightly green on ES, and we are big green on VIX. That tells you the fear is underlying in the market. Okay, went over that. Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a fly in the ointment for market bears. Bitcoin had a beautiful bounce. Now, this is still a potential daily bear flag. I would not get overly exuberant about this Bitcoin chart if I were a bull. This is still a mess. It's a potential daily bear flag. 8 EMA overhead, 50 RSI overhead, low volume on this push up. This is a bounce for shorting, in my opinion. We got overbought on the hourly, and then I would go here. I think that represents a level to top fish, 2755640. Looking for that hourly overbought in a daily downtrend reverse back burner short setup. That's what I would be looking at on Bitcoin. No harm, no foul yet. It really had a big bullish day. I just don't know where the bulls are going to take this. Obviously, no one knows where the bulls are going to take this with that 8 EMA overhead. The good news is they've given themselves enough room for a higher low, potential higher low on a pullback, and then maybe the bulls could make some type of shift. Yeah, hit the like button. Yes, I think the dollar and market inverse correlation is back for sure. Guile, I'm not feeling good about silver. I'll cover it for you, though. I'm not feeling good about silver. It got that bull break without a lot of follow through. Okay. Just 1 second. Okay, Ethereum, same story. Different chart. Potential daily bear flag as long as we remain below 1845, 8 EMA, suppressing price. Bounces are for shorting, in my opinion. We did not get hourly oversold here, but we did get a cute little neat double top at 1836.56 and 1836.44. That makes the risk super well defined, and I would even put my stop over 1840.08 if I were shorting Ethereum, because I think that's a nice risk to reward trade setup. Gold. Gold lost its daily uptrend, 2007, and we hit 2005. You know what? We could probably, I think in my analysis Friday midday for the room, I commented this is most likely an EQ because we only broke this by $1.30 on a $2,000 instrument. That's not a bear break. So we do have an EQ forming on gold. 4 hour is going sideways under the EMAs. We're getting a lot of misdirection on lower time frames because we closed last week in an inside bar and we're opening up inside last week's range. So cue up misdirection when we have these tightening ranges on higher time frames. I would think 202780 is a top fish level that I'd feel more comfortable shorting here at 202780 than I would be going long here. Silver. I was thinking this morning that this was a beautiful top fish opportunity. I missed it, but that was a beautiful one on 24.345 against that 24.405. Looking for that 4-hour lower high compared to that level. This is not the same as gold. Gold has a daily double bottom. Silver is weak. We're at the daily 50 MA. That's typically a good bounce spot for metals and commodities. That daily 50 MA first touch. But as long as we're below 24.875, a daily bear flag is on the table, just to give you perspective. So now bears are waiting for short-term overbought conditions to short, in my opinion. Set 15-minute overbought, that was it. That was ideal right there. So now you wait for the next overbought conditions, 30-minute or 1 hour even. I like that 1 hour overbought. So I'm going to set an alert. Tell me when RSI gets overbought, and that, in my opinion, that'd be an opportunity for shorting, looking for that daily lower high. I think we have to be careful down here as a bear. You have to be careful. This was a nice scalp opportunity off that 15-minute overbought here. You would have gotten 30 cents to the downside, but I think you have to be careful down here by support as a bear. Oil. Daily, we're looking for the higher low. My perspective changed on oil this morning. Last week, I told y'all I was bearish. I admit it. I even had a bias to the bear side. But at this point, we're looking for a daily higher low relative to 63, 64. Bulls gave themselves adequate room for it. So where is it going to get put in? So we're running into the hourly 50 MA. So I actually like, let me draw it on the shorter term time frame so you can see it a little better. I like a long against a 69.41. Against 69.41. So a pullback buy due to the size of this bounce. That's a good bounce. So now we have enough room for a higher low here against 69.41. So I like a pullback buy of oil. Initially rejecting here at the 50 MA, the Great Wall of Louisiana, nat gas. Look at you, boy. Okay, and I'm changing my attitude on nat gas now. I have to shut up when I tell the bulls put up or shut up, and they put up, I have to shut up. So I have dogged them for weeks on end. This was so terrible. But we got the daily trend change. We got it. And we bounced adequately enough for even another potential daily higher low. So I think pullbacks are for buying on nat gas. I have changed my tune. So I like a pullback buy. I would prefer it against, let's look at it on the hourly chart. I like a pullback buy to this 21 EMA. Right now we're grinding the 8 EMA with no problem. We may not get that pullback buy opportunity. So then let's move it right. 2291, and then you stop out quickly if that's like at 2.28 if it's lost, but I like a long buy on nat gas. We got hourly overbought and bears stepped in. Well, now we're hourly overbought again. It may not work this time for bears, and then they're going to wait for 4-hour overbought. It's just hard to step in front of the nat gas train once it gets going. Yep, overbought is 70. I sell premium art. I sell premium every day. Okay, exactly what MG is saying. RSI overbought of 70 is not a sell signal by itself. It is not. Because what is RSI? It's relative strength index. The higher the number, the stronger the name is. So just because something's screaming to the upside doesn't mean it's a short. That's actually the opposite. You want to stay with that trend. Only if it's in large downtrends on larger time frames are overbought conditions for shorting. Shorting opportunities, just the areas in which you scout. NASDAQ. Why am I going back up there? I have no idea. That was random. And I had this on my chart, Bennett. I was going to show you, but it looks like the bulls are managing to get over it. This was just a pretty strong trend on USD JPY, but looks like bulls got over it. I drew this Friday and I was watching it like a hawk. I'm like, man, that is a brick wall on the 4-hour. But they got through it. So now bulls will be looking for 4-hour higher lows on this because the dollar is strong. Apple. Apple. We're running into the Great Wall of Louisiana. What did I do? Oh, somehow I got in the app. What am I doing? That's funny. That's how I messed up. Okay, Apple. We're running into the hourly 50 MA. Bears will be looking to top fish 174.06. Odds favor a lower high compared to last Friday's high. Something like that. So you're looking for a top fish against 174.06. Looking at this daily chart, what's wrong with it? Not a darn thing. That's the problem, getting overly bearish on these NQ names, because literally, as my sister says, every pullback since March 3rd has been for buying. Every pullback has been for buying. Why would this be any different? So I'm talking about day trade scalps, keeping in mind these larger term time frames. We've had some hungry hippo bulls. So 173.32 is going to be the most aggressive top fish, and 174.06 is more conservative positioning. And if you want a bull position, that makes sense too. But in my opinion, you're doing that down here against Friday's low. You're waiting for a pullback buy. Amazon. Oh, no problem. You're tired, Joka? Okay. Amazon. I can't call this a head and shoulders, but man, it sure has a psychology there. We just don't have a proper left shoulder. This is the ugliest head and shoulders on earth if it is. But y'all, there ain't nothing wrong with this daily chart either. I'm gonna go set my alert for first. That's not what I wanted to do. Hourly. Oh, we got hourly oversold. That's not gonna work. Huh. Man, it's hard to pick a nice risk to reward level on Amazon. I would say a top fish 111.29 area, or bottom fish at 109.32. You're diddling in the middle. I'd rather be a bear and take that top fish this morning if it gets closer to 111, and then take the bottom fish on a pullback possibly in the afternoon, with just the way things are shaping up. Microsoft. Got to set your alerts, folks. There's my alert at 313. We have a double top at 313, 312.88. What's wrong with this chart? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're running into the hourly 50 MA. We do have a double top at 313. Bulls are waiting for a pullback buy. You're waiting for a pullback buy, in my opinion, or an aggressive top fish in early morning. NVIDIA. I always have to go to my notes. Why is my extended hours not showing on this chart? There it is. Daily uptrend, 4-hour downtrend, and under EMAs. This is weaker than most. Peep where the 50 MA is compared to price, and then look at Apple. We're on the 50 MA. NVIDIA is much weaker. Much weaker. The most aggressive bull is looking for a pullback buy compared to 280.46. I need to drink some water. I need to go a little faster. So Nvidia is weak. I wouldn't touch it. Tesla is super weak. The new CEO news could not offset the recall news, and the bears fully attacked. And they're also announcing now that there's Soros dumped his $16 million stake in Tesla or something. 167 is a clear area that bulls have been defending. If they lose that, we could be looking down at 161.20. Coin. I like a top fish of coin, looking at this golden pocket at 59.60 area. Just look, and what time frame did I look at this one? So basically, Riot and Mara are gapping up above Friday's high. The last time I looked at them, coin is not even close to it. It is green because Bitcoin's green. However, this is positioned very poorly for a bounce. So I like a bounce short in this 59.60 area, looking for that golden pocket short. JPM, I like this for a pullback buy. Banks are stronger this morning than tech for the most part. I like a pullback buy of JPM because it's sitting on this daily 50 MA at 133.25. We're sitting on the daily 50 MA. When it acts as such clear support, which what do I tell y'all? JPM, it trades so, oops, I hit the microphone. That's loud. It trades so technically, it touched that 50 MA and bounce. I have to be, rules say I have to be a bull down here against 133. And then you could top fish the pre-market high because the gap ups have been for selling on banks. Look here. Gap up, sold. Gap up, sold. Gap up, sold. Gap up, sold. So I get Solana while you're looking for a short. I totally get it. Oh no, Dalji. No. No, all my trades are multifactorial. I'm looking for convergence. I'm looking for confluence of multiple signals. Okay, Schwab, I like a long. This one's super strong. It got an upgrade from what I hear. I did not see the upgrade myself. I just saw a couple tweets about it from unverified sources, but I like a pullback buy on Schwab. It's been unfairly categorized as a regional bank, and it is not. Clear triple top at $50, and we are gapping up above Friday's high. That is a pullback buy scenario, waiting for a stair step or an EQ. Shop. I think I like the 2 hour on this one. What we're looking for is that daily higher low. Okay, we picked on it last week looking for that consolidation and we got it. Now I'm looking for that long. It can stay above 58.11 and still be a daily bull flag. So I'm looking for that 2 hour oversold to mark that potential daily higher low. So I'm looking for a long at $58. That would do it, or 2 hour oversold. And you set that alert. I didn't do that. ENPH. I like this long for a sympathy play with FSLR that had a fabulous day. I like a pullback buy against 164.45, or the more aggressive bull is just waiting for EQ or stair step to enter long. Okay, and I see EURAUD. Daily 21 EMA overhead. We are holding the 50 MA, and we are holding the weekly 8 EMA. 4 hour inside bars. Clear risk. Risk is defined. Clear. 162776, that's your top fish area. For the short, I see why you're doing it and I get it. Looking for that 4 hour lower high. Makes complete sense. All right. Shop, if you're, I would watch out for that 58 area. That's what I would watch out for, $58. But just keep moving your stop down. If you're short and it's working, just keep moving your stop down. All right, that's it for me. Thank y'all for being here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notify button, hit a button, and give me a follow on Twitter at ChartGalLori. TCG members, I'll have these notes over to you in just a sec. Use stop losses.